a new growth stock to invest in October 2020. Hello viewers, and welcome to another exciting video I have made especially for you as an investor that is looking to invest big into some kind of stocks. As usual, my videos are always centered on making wise choices and taking the right risk as investors. And this one is no different. I'd like to share with you a new stock that I invested in back in April 2020. At this time of my investment, not many investors, YouTubers, knew about the stocks. I had so much belief in the stocks that I kept investing since April. There are always calculated risk in investments, and some of this risk involve buying shares that you have never owned before. Believing in a stock and taking a chance with them is something most investors don't want to do, but I have done it with some stocks due to my vast experience as a seasoned investor, and it is paying dividends now. Are you uncertain of where you want to begin your journey into stock investments? I have an answer for you in one of my videos, The Beginner's Guide to Stock Investment in 2020. There are different trading apps in the world today, but I prefer and suggest you try Freetrade if you are based in UK, eToro or Trade 212. The links are below this video in the descriptions. This video is opinion-based and you are free to further your research before making any choices. Any figures and numbers mentioned here are accurate for October 5th, 2020. Being one of the few people that knew about the stock back then, I kept my faith with the company even with the level of volatility in the stock market. Stock prices rise and fall, but good companies always come out on top. So even when the price of the stocks went down, I saw it as an opportunity to buy more, because as a long-term investor, I always try to foresee the further and believe in the future of the company is bright. So in this video, I'll be discussing three things, and they are: what stocks do I have so much faith in? What are my reasons behind buying these stocks? And what are the numbers that surrounded the stock? I may not always be right because I am human and humans can make mistakes. You need to do your own research, by the way. You are not totally to believe in me, but I do think you need to do your own research most of the time. At least try to see what I'm thinking the way I'm thinking. If you do not feel right about some of my investment strategies, you can always sit it out just to avoid regrets. So what is that stock I have so much confidence in? The company is called Slack Technologies, Work. Its shares sell at about $28.45 as at the time I made this video, which is 5th of October. This company went public sometime last summer, and it has not always been a jolly ride so far. As of last year, it sold for $37.22, which was a lot higher than its present price. But it doesn't work like that. Sometimes investors do not know how influential stocks may be in the end, so they prefer not to invest, and that is why stock prices go down, but it's not a determinant for bad stocks. Here are some of my assessments. Their gross profits have gone up from around $194 million to about $533 million. Also, over the past 3 years, their total revenue have gone up from $220 million to over $630 million. Even their selling and marketing expenses have seen massive growth over the past few years. The research and development numbers have also recorded positive values since they went public. This company is a game changer, and if it continues powering just as predicted will, then we may just be seeing the end of the email era. Slack is all about communication in a business. Basically, every business out there uses Slack or something like Slack for communication. Both small and large companies even use Slack for scaling their businesses, so their importance is growing rapidly. This company has joined Microsoft in the lead when it comes to communication. As of last year, Slack was relatively unknown to people, but is now one of the most popular apps in the world today. In fact, it is installed on most companies' electronic devices. The interesting thing about Slack and companies like this is they are innovative companies which will continue to innovate. A lot of investors make the mistake of judging these kinds of companies based on the short term. They are well based on short-term performances, but they grow better over the years as they keep innovating. And as they keep innovating and making their products better, their stocks keep rising. The CEO of this rising company once stated that the goal is to make sure his company ends up as big as its direct competitor, Microsoft. That may be a little brave if you ask me, considering the differences in their market caps. Microsoft has a market cap of about $1.5 trillion, while Slack has a market cap of about $14 billion. But there is no telling to what length the company would decide to push its goals. What is my bold theory about this stock? Some people keep asking why I have so much faith in this stock. Well, I try to propose some theories on some of these stocks, and here is my predictions about the company and its stocks prices. First, take a look at the balance sheets of the company. The numbers are encouraging. They are amazing. For instance, Slack has over $216 million in market table securities and more than $1 billion in cash and cash equivalents. Even their revenues are showing positive numbers in sales growth. That is the sign of a company in a strong financial position. But remember that I'm a long-term investor, so I love to think about stocks for the next 10 years, which in this case is the end of the decade. And with all my estimations and calculations, I think this company will generate a revenue of around $7 to $10 billion. You agree with me that this number signifies a lot of growth in the next 10 years, and not every company can boast of such potential. Even their net income for the end of the decade should be around $2 to $5 billion, and that is also massive. Finally, what are the numbers that surround their stocks? Let's take a look at its growth numbers. As of September 8, 2020, when the company releases its results for the second quarter fiscal year, it was clear that they have amassed a total revenue of $215 million, up 49% year over year, added over 8,000 paid customers, and also added over 87 paid customers with over $1 million in annual recurring revenue. Paid customer growth is one of the most important factors of the company over a long period, and it has accelerated by 30% year over year in the second quarter, according to the Chief Executive Officer of Slack, Stuart Butterfield. He also stated that the Slack Connect was one of the front seat drivers because it has been able to offer seamless intercompany collaboration that is way ahead of email. The second quarter ended with over 380,000 connected endpoints and more than 52,000 paid customers. They also recorded over 130,000 paid customers, which means they went up by 30% year over year, had a retention rate of about 125%, and even acquired another provider of enterprise directory software, Rimeto. In terms of prices, as long as its stock it's within the $20 and $35 range, I intend to keep buying. And if they eventually go over $40, I won't be selling, but I definitely won't be buying a lot more. With the current price at $28, I will keep buying till the price is below $35, maybe up to $40. Buying stocks requires some level of predictions, calculations, and risk taking. However, When you start buying stocks for the long term, you realize that some companies are worth investing in when they are growing. One of these companies is Slack, and when you have done your research, because I'm not financial advisor, I hope to see it in your portfolio. If this video was useful, please like it and share it, and subscribe to my channel if you're new, and let me know your thoughts. It's really important to know your opinion as well. What do you think about my choice? I invested in Slack back in April, as I said, and I'm happy, and I'm still buying it a little bit as well every single month. So thank you for spending your time with me. Till then, and a big thank you, and I'd like to say till next time, stay green and motivated.